Hi everyone, it's Tim Topham here, and in this video I'm going to be doing something I've never done before, which is I'm going to react to one of my own teaching videos, which I just found from, I can't remember, probably close to 10 years ago, because the boy in this video is now well and truly over 18. He's probably about 20 now. So you're going to meet James, and this is the very start of a lesson with him. Now, he was having 45-minute lessons with me. I think he's about 10 or 11 here. This was a way that I like to start a lesson if I had the time. So this is not the kind of thing you could do if you're really pressed for time, because this is a longer activity, but you'll hear me just get into the lesson. I don't really say much or do much. It's just straight into the music making. So I'm going to stop periodically and let you know what's going on in my head, if anything. And I want you to think about, how you would approach things. What do you think? And can I just say straight up, recording your teaching is one of the best things you could possibly do to improve your teaching. So I highly recommend people do it. And even I cringe watching myself teach. So just be aware, we all feel the same way, but I'm happy to put this out there because I know that we can all learn a lot by seeing each other teaching. So let's flip over to the video and hit play, get started. Here we go. Play along, I'm gonna play something. I just want you to play along, whatever you want to do. Anything that's got to work with what I'm doing though, so have a bit of a listen. Cool. Now, one of the things I love starting lessons with is some kind of improvisation activity, because it switches kids from the rush and craziness of after school to, okay, we're going to be making music. It switches on their ears. It gets them involved bodily in making music and thinking musically. So a little improv activity at the start is great. I didn't really prime James with very much here. He does know basic chords. He knows a circle of fifths. We've made up music before. I was hoping that he would listen a little bit more to what I was doing and then maybe create a melody for it. So I'm going to try and get him to that point without actually telling him what to do. So let's see what I say next. Yeah, so what other things could you do given what I'm playing? I want you to think about other varieties.
I was trying to...
Don't talk, let's play. But I want you to vary what you're doing more. I'm going to keep playing the same thing over and over, so you've got to make what I'm doing interesting. I'm still smiling because that was really abrupt of me. I ask him a question and I say, no, don't answer. Let's just play instead. It's kind of funny. It's kind of good in some ways because we all talk too much. In musical terms, we often have two kind of things going on. We'll have some kind of accompaniment.
Yeah.
And what's the other part?
The melody.
Melody, right. So am I doing more something melodic or something accompanimental?
You're doing more melodic.
Melodic?
Yeah.
So listen. More of an accompaniment, right? So this time, while you're mucking around, I want to see if you can be the melody. So think about where I'm playing on the piano, where you might sound good, and how you might complement what I'm doing, without copying what I'm doing.
Cool. So
again, I'm always trying, when I teach, to not dictate, but try and ask questions that will get the student to think in the terms, in the direction that I'm wanting. So I, from the start of this, wanted James to create a melody, and I wanted him to work out what the key was and then use the notes of that key to create a melody. That's what I had in my head that he might think to do. He didn't do that, and so I've now got to think, how am I going to help him create music that's going to sound best in this context? And that is to create a melody. So that's why I'm asking these questions. One of our key top music pillars is a question-centric teaching approach, using questions whenever possible rather than telling students. All right, let's have a listen. Okay. So when we're thinking about the difference between a melody and accompaniment, what are the main differences?
A melody is more like it's more that than.
Great. So in your piece. So it's interesting, he's chosen to use a piece of music that he's learning, which is Midnight Ride by Melody Boba. That's the melody he played and the left hand. He's using that to demonstrate the difference between melody and accompaniment, which is really cool. He's making connections. And this is part of the integrated teaching approach that I really try and get teachers to think about, making connections. Now, he's made the connection for us, which is even better. Your right hand's doing a melody. How many notes are playing at once? One note. So for one note thing, a melody, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that's why when singers sing, they sing a melody, and it's one. You can't easily sing two notes at the same time.
I can't imagine someone singing 4 notes at the same time.
Right. So I want you to be my singer. Now we're getting somewhere. Can you see now that he's understanding the approach? Now he's listening, now he's trying to do something different, and he's making some really nice sounds. And he's dropped the left hand. He understands now this is a single line, and he's trying to provide that melody. I think, yeah, this is what I wanted him to do. Then which sounded better? Which of our duets sounded better?
It's the one which we just played.
Yeah, and why is that?
Because I wasn't playing chords.
Right.
And you were already playing chords.
Exactly. So we're doing different jobs. So if we do this in another lesson and I just start playing chords, maybe you could go straight to a melody and think about how you do that. How do you know which notes to use?
I noticed that you started with a C chord, and I played in the thing of C, and then I filled the circle of fifths and went to G.
Were you thinking about all that?
No, I just played some random notes.
Yeah, but that one. This kid, hilarious. I love it. Did you notice before, though, I asked, what did you think, which was the best? I think this is a great, easy question for any teacher to ask at any stage in the lesson. What do you rate your dynamics in that section out of 10? What do you rate your ability to play smoothly out of 10? Not just how good was it out of 10, but what was, something specific that you're actually trying to improve in that moment. So I said, which sounded better out of our two versions? And then following up, why? Really important. Why did that sound better? And one of the parts of a question-centric teaching approach is being comfortable letting students squirm a little when they can't instantly find the answer to a question. That's when the learning really happens. So give them time to answer. Try to avoid that temptation of just jumping in and answering a question for them. I used to try and do this in classrooms and things all the time. It's a really easy trap to fall in, but you want to give them time, even if that silence is a bit uncomfortable. It's really good. Random notes, it worked.
Yeah.
Because we're in the key of?
C.
Very good. So, nice job. I also noticed you started doing, you had a little, did you remember? You did this, you did this thing a few times. Do you remember doing that?
Sort of.
All right, so we're going to do this exercise one more time, and I want you to see if you can come up with a couple of little hooks, little ideas that that you like the sound of, and you can play them a few times.
Yes.
So I could, at the end of this, whistle one of the tunes or sing one of the tunes that you played. Got it? Here we go. Da, 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 da. That was cool. And he went, da, 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 da. Nice work, James. Much better. I could actually hear dun dun dun. You also did. It was. Yeah, that's a bit. I like that bit.
Yeah.
That was very good. Did you notice when you did that?
I thought of a song in my head, or just some songs randomly, and just smash them into one thing.
But I didn't hear it again. But we both really loved that. And then you went back to your, which was really cool.
I just like when I sort of played something like that. Whenever I play something like that, I imagine, or when that happened, I imagined myself in Audacity creating something, and then like, oh, that sounds good. Control C, Control V, and then doing it again.
Right, but you've got to Control C and Control V without Audacity. You've got to be able to do that on your own.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what I want you to do. Whenever you're improvising and making stuff up like this, be really aware of what sounds good.
Yes.
And I think that was one little nugget that you missed, because it sounded really cool, but you only played it once. All right. This kid, I had so much fun teaching him. I actually miss our lessons, because you can tell like he's quite musically attuned, pardon the pun, and just comes out with funny comments. We all have students like this, and they're an absolute pleasure to teach. So I hope that was useful for you in just having a look at some of the ways to get students engaged. Firstly, in the activity, very simple activity. It doesn't have to be that complex. Could be a simpler chord progression, could be heart and soul. That was really just a descending chord progression in the key of C. I actually, after this, went and asked him to work out the chord progression, and then had him play it, and I did the melody. So that's how you could build on this. Now, this aligns really well with my 4-chord composing plan. So if you're unsure about that, head over to topmusic.co/chords, or if you're a Top Music Pro member, there's a whole course in our membership about teaching with chords. And it's all about using the circle of fifths to help students understand the key and relationship between different chords, and why does that little chord progression that I play sound good, and what melodies work with it, all that kind of stuff. It's really, really fun. Every student should understand these. These are just fundamental, basic building blocks of music that all students should know. And this is an activity that can really inspire them and get them engaged and involved in that, particularly to start a lesson off the right way, hopefully. So yes, I hope you enjoyed that. If you've got any questions, please leave them below. If you think I stuffed up or could have done something differently, or you didn't really like it, then let me know. I really love engaging in dialogue about teaching. It can only help me get better and help you get better, hopefully. And of course, subscribe, please, to the channel if you're watching this on YouTube, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye-bye, everyone.